Good morning, trade pros. Welcome to our morning market update for Thursday, July the 19th, the 19th. This is George from Trade Pro Academy. Victorio's not here at the moment, just taking a little break. Marky's with us, so you got the whole team here ready for you guys to give you a great update. So I'm going to talk today about a few things. We're going to talk about something that hasn't happened since 1969. And another thing we're talking about is Amazon and Donald Trump's latest rhetoric on trade. So it's going to be a great update. First, let's start out with covering some key earnings. There's a lot of them, so I'm just going to give you the ones that made the biggest moves. eBay's down 5.6% because who shops at eBay anymore? IBM is up 3%. Margins climbed higher. Morgan Stanley's up 2.8% on really strong investment banking earnings, so that's been a driver for it. What else? American Express down 2.8% as revenues fall short. I can't use my Amex card anywhere anymore. So, I mean, I can. It's just not everywhere. And there's less and less places that accept Amex. So I've noticed that, I've had less usage out of my card. Therefore, revenue is lower. I'm directly tied. My spending is directly tied to Amex earnings. No, it's not. But we all are. Anyone that's got an Amex technically contributes to Amex's bottom line. All right. Ericsson up 8.2% on a huge operating profit. And that's it. Alcoa's down 4%, cutting its forecast and future outlook also. So it's down 4%. Symbol there is AA. So there's a lot of earnings stocks coming out over the next 2 to 3 weeks. It's all eyes are on earnings. So that's what's causing some of that up and down volatility. Let's take a quick tour around the world. In Asia, Japan's down 1/10. Hong Kong's down 0.4%. China down 0.5 percentage point. India down 0.1%. Weakness across the board in Asian markets. In Europe, London's up 1/10. Paris is down 0.5%, and so is Frankfurt. So you could see weakness in Asian markets spilling over to weakness in Europe at the same intensity. And then last but not least, in the United States, all key markets are red. So Dow is down 0.2. S&P's down 0.3%. NASDAQ down 0.4%. A little pullback. So we've had quite a rally over the last 2-3 weeks. And the next couple of days, we could have a pullback. Market Analysis Live, we talked about that the first couple of days of the week could be a sell-off, could be a retrace of this rally. We didn't get that. We had more upside. So now the retracement's starting. And I think it's an important point to mention. We're not predicting price action. We're watching it and trading price action. If you're looking to predict price action, you're going to have a hard time making money trading because you can only make money when your prediction is right. How freeing would it be if you didn't have to predict it and you just made money from what is happening rather than what you think is going to happen? That's the key to success in trading, is being able to profit in all scenarios. And the only way to do that is to give up the notion that you have to be right. Because in order to make money, you only make money when you're right. However, if you don't have to be right, you make money in all scenarios. All right, so that's a quick little tip for you. Crude's down 1.3%. Trading into the 66 range again. Marky, what's crude at now? 67.30. So it bounces back up into those 67. So we're getting a little bit of a retrace to that downside. Thank you, sir. Gold's down another percent to 12.15. Gold continues to sell off. Weak seasonality, strong dollar, and strong rate hike expectations. Very hawkish Fed is what's pushing gold prices lower. All right. And that trend will continue. Look to about mid to late August to start looking for the long. Actually, look for late July, early August for the long gold trade, because I do think at some point we're going to overextend this downside, and the long gold trade will pay off handsomely in the next couple of weeks. You just got to find the right level. I'll keep you guys posted and give you a heads up on when I think the next good shot will be. All right. Initial jobless claims today came out at 207,000, not 270. 207 versus an expectation of 229,000. That's the lowest print since December of 1969. That a low number here is good because it means less people filed for unemployment. So that's a really strong update for the labor market. The labor market continues to improve and trend. Now, I could dispute that with different statistics. I'm not going to. I'm just going to give you the positive here. Today is the positive is that 207,000 is the lowest filing for unemployment claims in over 40 years. All right. Isn't that crazy? Longer, over 50 years almost. It's a historic day. The 4-week average dropped to 220,000 versus 223. So there's a 3,000 drop even in the month-long running average. That's positive. And the prior number for unemployment claims is only revised higher by 1,000 jobs, which is insignificant. And I mean, it's not insignificant to the 1,000 people that applied for the unemployment claims, but on an economic level, it is insignificant. All right. So very strong number from unemployment claims. Not enough per se to make the market rally 600 points, but it is something the traders are going to be looking at. And that number alone could give some optimism for a fade of the short level on the US Open. So look for a rally early on this morning and look to sell that rally to continue the downside trend. We're going to talk about some levels with the trade pros in the room. I'm going to turn around in a moment. Yesterday, we had a great day trading. Today, we're going to do it again. All right. What else coming up? 9:45, Bloomberg Consumer Comfort Index, 10 a.m. leading indicators. And last but not least, 10:30, EIA's natural gas inventory. So we got nat gas inventories at 10:30 today. All right, here's something cool. Amazon reached $900 billion market value for the first time today, yesterday rather, on Wednesday. $900 billion freaking dollars. Let that sink in. It's almost $1 trillion company in market cap. That's right. That's very close to Apple. Amazon's set to overtake the total value and net worth of Apple if it continues on this trend. All right, that news comes after the company announced it sold more than 100 million in products during its annual Prime Day sale. Actually, that's wrong. That's a wrong number. It's funny, and this is where it pays to have somebody who knows this info. It's not $100 million in sales. It's 100 million products that they've retailed on their website. Huge volume, huge transactional volume. It's over $1 billion of notional sale value. All right, so that's based on their Prime Day. Their Prime Day sale generates a lot of traction one day a year, and it's in the books now. All right, Amazon's increase is up over 123,000%. Victoria, how would you like your account to be up 123,000%? It'd be great. I'd love it too. Since 1997, when it was listed on NASDAQ, Amazon, 123,000%. That's not an error. That's just a crazy number. Amazon now accounts for 49% of online retail sales. Half of all sales online retail is on Amazon. eBay is down to only 6.6% of online retail sales. And here comes the question. Who the heck shops on eBay anymore? I guess if you have an auction, that makes sense. If you're trying to bid your way into something for cheaper. But eBay's market share got creamed. All right. So, you know, if you wanted to, this trade's been running for a long time, long Amazon, short eBay. That's a good spread trade. But I can't tell you to do it now. It's a little bit too late, I think. I think Amazon's going to come in for a dip in the next couple of weeks. All right, Donald Trump said that he might hammer out a deal with Mexico first, one-on-one, and then do a separate one with Canada later, which means NAFTA is all but pretty much gone at this point. If that's the intent, if you're going to do two separate deals with two countries, NAFTA is going to disappear, and that's going to be bearish news. So on that news, the Canadian dollar is lower. Look for more weakness in the Canadian dollar. And guys in the room here trading, that's good news for you, because every dollar you make trading US is going to get you more Canadian dollars. Perfect. So your salary just went up. Thank you. You don't have to thank me. It's all you guys. Yeah, so there, there is that. So Amazon, strong earnings. No, hold on. I lost my track here. Yeah, the trade stuff. Look, if Donald Trump does separate trade deals with Mexico and Canada, NAFTA's gone. Look for strength in the Mexican peso and weakness in the Canadian dollar. All right, that's all that means. Last but not least on today's morning market update is Cisco. Cisco shares, CSCO, that's their stock symbol, climbed 4% in extended trading last night after Amazon Web Services said that they are not, in fact, building routers and switches. All right, Cisco's biggest business is routers and switches. If you look at the internet, I think something like 70% of all data traffic goes through a Cisco switch, which is crazy. That's a high volume. And that counters a story that was released last week about Amazon or AWS in particular getting into internet hardware and networking hardware. And apparently there was a recent call between Cisco CEO Chuck Robbins and AWS, Amazon Web Services CEO Andy Jassy. And Andy just said, hey, Chuck, hey, Chucky boy, we're not getting in that business. Cool your panties. And, you know, think about this. If you were speaking to a competitor, maybe I should have filtered that a little bit better through my thought to speech. But if you were a competitor, what would you tell your competitor? If you were working on a product that's going to annihilate your competitor, what would you tell them on the phone? Just think about it for a second. Would you be like, yeah, Chuck, brace yourself. We're coming for your market share. No, you know what I would do? I would say, you know what, Chuck, you don't need to worry about it, pal. You guys have a lock on the industry. Just focus on what you're doing. We're not getting into that. We're going to focus on other verticals. And then, boom, Chuck, boom, here comes some routers and switches. And we take you out of business, Chucky boy. And then afterwards, we offer to take you out for lunch and say, nothing personal. It's just business, Chuck. So that's what you should watch out for. I think there's a little bit of a cover up between the CEO, and I think Chuck's in for a rude awakening. It would make a lot of sense for AWS to go into switches and networking. It would make a ton of sense. When AWS was down earlier this year, you guys remember, no website was working. A large percentage of the internet already runs on Amazon's web services. Heck, our site runs on Amazon's web services. And that's good news because they're taking over the market share. The way these companies do it, the way business works, you start out with one product and you just absolutely destroy that product. And once you start to gain a lot of market share, you expand out your services to capture other areas. So you're creating multiple streams of revenue from different products. You bring in more money, you diversify, you're not exposed to one thing, and you slowly take over an industry like that. That's how Amazon did their entire online retail sales strategy, right? Well, how did Amazon start? They sold books online. Jeff Bezos wanted to be a bookstore. Now he's worth $150 billion. There you have it. All right. Rant / over. You guys have yourself a good day. Manage your risk. Try to trade pro. See you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Sorry, I got distracted. See you at 9 a.m. tomorrow. And we got one last update left before George, the married man, shows up on Monday. Or maybe doesn't show up. Who knows? I got one day to decide if I'm going to run or not. Yeah, I'm not running. Take care, guys. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Manage your risk. Trade pro. Wait for a rally. Sell rallies today. I think downside is going to open up on equities. And follow NASDAQ. Watch FANG stocks. They're going to be your leader. Yesterday's FANG trade was really good for us. It worked for you, right, Vicky? Yeah, well, yesterday we noticed Apple was weak, so we latched onto it. We followed it. As Apple got weaker, we sold rallies and we got paid. Just take care. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye. Ciao. I overspun. Oh, Vicky. All right, guys. Let's jump into this. Let me just get in here. Thank you, Berkey. Trade pros. Adios.